just shows you what the gentleman or lady who sent that in said, the utter arrogance of the attitude towards things and people within society. And it's going to get a lot worse. They have things like swine flu and other epidemics and pandemics in order to get people herded off in the opposite direction and not having people say, no, I'm not going to go to that camp because I'm ill or I might get ill. And this obviously, this training period we're going through here, is part and parcel of that. And it all runs together. It's the same strain of thinking. And the only place you're going to get this kind of out-of-the-box thinking is on programs like this with Melody and a handful of others, unfortunately. I wish there were thousands of them, but there isn't. And that's the only place you're going to get the truth.
And Bob, and I truly believe, it's my personal opinion, that folks, if you own gold and silver, and this isn't a pitch to buy gold and silver, but by owning gold and silver, it gives you the independence to say no, because you can do other things. It gives you the ability to do other things and get your way around other things. That's one of the reasons why it's so important. You're out of their system, and it gives you that ability to perhaps do what you will need to do. And
just to survive.
Yes, it is so, so important. You know, gold is going to have such a big function. And so get it while you can. How specifically do you think the collapse of the commercial real estate will affect the financial markets, and when do you predict we will start to see those effects? Most analysts, I guess that's your first question. Your first question. Did you get it?
Yeah, I think that the commercial real estate problems started to come to a head at the beginning of this year because there are developers who, and lenders, of course, are 80% default to being at fault at this. And that is that they made loans they shouldn't have made in commercial real estate. Many of the loans were interest only, and you roll them every 5 years, and the bank would put up the money. And now we have second largest mall company in the world going under, and they had the temerity to say, well, we still want to operate the projects even though we're bankrupt. I mean, what can they be thinking? I mean, these people are all sociopaths. It's just like the people who are running these corporations and banks, brokerage houses that have failed. And they give them bonuses and they keep them on for destroying the company. Is the whole world gone mad? I mean, when people did things like that in the past, they were fired. I mean, it's incredible what's going on. But anyway, commercial real estate is going to drop 60-70%. And I had previously thought nationwide residential would drop 35 to 40%, and in the hot areas, which are 30 major hot areas in America, it would go down between 40 and 60, depending upon how much it went up and where it was. Those numbers are going to be higher. We're looking at probably 45 to 70% on the upper end, and probably 40 to 40% in the lower end, including towns and states that never had big rises in real estate. It's far worse than even I, projecting this years ago, I could see what they were doing. And I said, this is what's going to happen. And I've lived through, I don't know, maybe 4 real estate booms. And so, you learn something. Most people aren't as old as I am, so they can't remember because they weren't there. So I guess maybe intelligence or the use of it is gained by age if you keep using it. Your abilities to use your intellect, and I think it helps you make better decisions. At least that's what's happened to me. And so, real estate, both residential and commercial, are going to go lower. Residential probably for the next 3, maybe even 4 years. In some areas, maybe it'll bottom out in 6 months to 2 years. It'll be an evolving process. Commercial real estate got a long way to go down because it really hasn't corrected in a big way yet. And that is going to wreak havoc with bank financial statements. Just absolute, unbelievable nightmare. And as I said, probably half the banks in America will go under. There's 8,000 and something. And 2,000 will be a very low figure. 4,000 is a possibility. Probability is 2,000. It's hard to gauge because we don't know who's got what, and they're all lying about it. So we'll have to see. All I know is it's not going to be good.
You do ask, you talk to your banks and you talk to your managers and they're lying to you when you ask them, what they have and how involved were they in the real estate market and the subprime. They're lying to you.
Well, a lot of them are ignorant. I mean, they're not.
But people that shouldn't
they're stupid about everything. They're ignorant of the subject.
But even when you talk to those that shouldn't be ignorant, they still lie to you.
Well, that's true. And there's the reason for that. I want to save the bank, and I don't want to lose my job, so I'll lie.
Yep.
And this is what's happened to the world, not only America. Anywhere you go, nobody tells the truth. Well, some people do, but very few. And it becomes a way of life. It's acceptable socially and politically to lie. The building in front of you is white and gleaming. And they'll tell you that the building is gray. And it's right in front of you. They don't care. And then when you have that in a society, or all societies, you get a very, very bad problem.
The next question is, and you might have this question also, Bob. Most analysts, we only have about a minute. Most analysts are speculating of a coming market correction. Which of the 3 options do you think is most probable? Downside to the market in May, followed by a summer rally, and then a downside in fall. The market will move sideways, or we'll see a downside in May and June, and that'll be it.
Downside May and June, I think that'll be it. And the reason why is the market's been jacked up artificially, and there's an awful lot of bad news yet to come. And so this is the summer rally, and it was a sharp one, 25%. That's a big rally. And if you're in the market, with the exception of gold and silver shares, get out. Get out of those annuities and cash life insurance policies, because they're all invested in stocks. And if I'm right, you're going to lose it.
And we're out of time, and Hitler was born April 20th, 1889. Until then, we'll be back on Wednesday. Until then, be safe. Good night, and thank you, Norm. Bye-bye. Good night, Bob.
Bye-bye.